Welcome. All right, we're going live. And if you guys have coaches or friends that are coaches that are making a deep impact in the world, and feel free to invite them.
Oh no.
And
Oh, yes.
yes, awesome.
Just mute everybody as they're coming in.
Yes.
So great to see so many familiar faces and some new faces on here. We are excited. Today is the day that we are kicking off this year's 50K by Christmas immersion. If you are not muted, I just request that you mute yourself. We do want to make this at some point an immersive experience where we can hear and have a conversation back and forth. But today we wanted to kick things off strongly. I couldn't find my hat, so I am wearing garland for you, and it is itchy, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep it around my neck for this whole time, but that's okay. So the 50K by Christmas immersion, this is more than here we go. The 50K by Christmas immersion. We are so glad you're here. This is more than just a training. This is more than just a webinar or just something that you go to and learn from. This is literally, we want to give you the tools to be able to empower you to create those 50K months, right? How do you, or not 50K months or even 50K by Christmas? Like, what does that look like? So it's going to be different for everyone depending at what level that you're at. And how this is going to work, we wanted to hop on here because as you start anything is the energy that things start getting created, right? So if we can step into this future self of what is it like to make this 50K by Christmas? What does it even mean to you? What is that feeling within your body of creating $50,000 by Christmas time? What would that do for you? So we wanted to set the intentions. We want to explain how this entire immersion works. If you are seeing us live on Facebook and you are not registered for the 50K by Christmas yet, you want to be registered because we have a lot of prizes and giveaways and some fun things that we're doing throughout this entire month, and we can only keep track of the people who are signed up and registered part of the system. So this is how this works. Do you want me to keep talking? Or?
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay, so this is how this works. Every Monday, we are going to be going live at 5 p.m. I know today was 5:30. We had this thing popped up. This is how it works. Do you want me to keep talking? Listen. Okay. And every Monday from here until the 24th, we are going to be going live. Now, you want to be, this is going to be the only live that is on Chad and I's Facebook wall. The rest are going to be in our group, Coaches for Transformation Collective. We're going to keep that in the group so we can keep track of people who go and they do the work. So we are going to have a couple cool different things. Every week, we're going to give you an assignment that is going to move you forward into being able to create this 50K by Christmas experience. There are a few ways that you can have points for doing this. One, joining the Facebook group, Coaches for Transformation Collective. Being live on the pre-trainings will get you points. Doing the homework assignments will get you points to this. If you know any coaches who are you're like, oh my gosh, this would be so good for so-and-so. Like, this is what they need. This is what they've been looking for. They've been, I know they're trying to do big things in the world. I think this could help them. Invite them in, share this, let us know that you shared it, then we will give you some more points. And through this, we have a few prizes, a few giveaways. The person who has the most points at the end is going to win something from us that people have literally paid over $500 to receive. So this is not just some fluky thing. This is like, we're going for it, right? Why? Because I know that money equals contribution, and the more money we make, the more contribution we're able to make out in the world. And I don't know about you, but I am here to really live God's calling in our life, to build a life of wealth, to be able to make a contribution to other people, to have a nonprofit that helps parents and children, to be able to help sex traffic victims know that they are no longer victims and they can do something with their life. I am here for a purpose, and I am here for contribution. So if you can relate to that, raise your hand, let me know. I want to know what it is that you're out for in the world. So I feel like I've been talking a lot.
That's all good. So I think the first thing we do is we take like a minute, right? Like just set a timer and we write down like what would 50K in between now and Christmas allow you to do that maybe you can't do, like you couldn't do normally. And maybe this is, if you're already doing pretty well, maybe this is an additional 50K in between now and Christmas. And so what would that allow you to do? What would you be able to invest into? What would you be able to, who would you be able to contribute to? How would your life be able to be different? What kind of more freedom would you be able to have? What kind of, I know one of our, so we did this, we've been doing 50K by Christmas for the last three years.
Every year,
3
keeps getting
years.
better,
It
baby.
keeps on getting better. And I remember I think it was the first year that we did this, we had a client come from it and she came in right away and she like rocked that 50K, right? We were actually supporting her and guiding, and she was kind of in a weird situation where she had a bunch of like one-on-one clients, but she was doing pretty well, right? She's like doing $8,000 to $15,000 every month, but she was working 80, 90 hours a week, right? And just like stressed out of her mind, the whole deal. And I remember on our call, and she was like, I was like, if I could just fix that problem for you where you could work less, would this be worth it? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And we ended up working with her, and she ended up getting to $25,000 a month. Not like a huge jump, but she was only working 30 hours a week. So it was like cutting her time in a third. And then Holly started working with her in the energetics around her business. And she ended up going in the next 2 months after that and hit 50K in 1 month. So she did 50K between the event and Christmas, and then went and ended up doing it in a month. So she was able to, and she took more vacations than she's ever taken, worked less than she's ever worked, and really was able to make that contribution that she's able to make. So what would 50K in between now and Christmas do for you? Maybe it's just a step up. Maybe it is just
Maybe
a
it's
stepping
to
stone.
pay your bills, to get out of debt, to have an incredible Christmas for your family, to be able to invest. Like, there are no wrong answers here. Everybody has the reasons, and it's really important when you can get really clear on the why behind it.
So there's a chat, and again, that you guys are going to get points. We're going to keep track of all the points. So this is like commenting your intentions is going to be number one, right? Like that's like, so going in, everybody knows that there's a chat on Zoom, right? So post your intentions. Like, what is that going to do? What is that 50K by Christmas going to allow you to do? Post in the comments so we can be connected to it, because we will play more all out, give more value, be able to spend more time with you, give more energy if we know that you guys are really out for something big. And if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to comment on Facebook, or if you want to be private about it, feel free to, I guess, reach out, and so you can be registered, so you can get these Zoom invites.
You want to be registered so you can, again, get these points, be really involved. I will say that when you set an intention for something and you make a decision. So I was actually at a workshop and working with our coach earlier, and he said something really powerful. When you make a decision, it means like, there's like incision and decision, right? You make a choice. You are cutting off the things that are not serving you, and you're moving forward to the direction and the things and where you want to go, right? So we are making a decision to be all in on ourselves and what it is that we're out for, right? And it's not too big, it's not too small, it's not too anything else. It's exactly, I know that the people that we attract into our world, we're out to do big things. You're out to do big things. You have this like calling within you that it's more than just coaching. It's more than just making money. It's more than just putting the program together. However, those things are the stepping stones to be able to get to that everything that you are and want to become, right? And it starts with an intention. So I want to hear your intentions, and that's actually going to be one of your assignments too, is to go into that group. And I want to talk about, in order for $50,000 a month or $50,000 by Christmas to even happen, it starts with, we all know as coaches, I love you guys, you're so into the inner work and evolving yourself and growing in that personal development, but we all know that everything starts from this thought. Now, one of the most important things that we can set ourselves up to do is to be so aligned with our thought process that when we say, I'm going to make $50,000 by Christmas, your brain is actually like, yeah, you are, let's freaking go. Right?
Mhm.
So how do you get to this point where your brain, when you're like, yes, $50,000 a month, and your brain is going like, yes, let's go, let's do it. There's nothing in the way. You got this. You're freaking amazing. I believe in you.
Yeah, well, let's go to the other side of it, right? So why does that doubt come up, right? Like, why does that, like, yeah, right, like, why is this next time going to be different, right? Why is this going to be the time you're actually going to follow through? Why is this time going to be the time that you're actually going to do the work and show up and be the thing, all the things, right? Like, why is this time different? And it's because, it's interesting. There's a guy named Alex Hermosi. He said,
You guys ever hear of him?
anybody ever hear of Alex Hermosi? I'm just curious. Is this chat broken? I feel like I'm talking to myself. I got 10 people on here, and I'm like, so if you guys want to, like, this is a conversation. Let's go.
Yeah,
So Alex,
yeah, it's been awesome.
awesome. New beginnings, launching, awesome. So Alex Hermosi said something like this: is like, the imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, all of this comes up is because the results haven't really lined up, right? It's like, how do you get rid of those things? It's like undeniable results of proof that you're going to show up. And it's like the reason that it hasn't, and you have those self-doubts, because there's been times in the past you said you were going to do something and you didn't follow through. And nothing wrong, right? This isn't wrong. It's just, we've all had it. We've all said that we were going to do something and we didn't follow through. And so now there's constantly this thing in the background going, well, why is this time going to be different? Or why are you going to actually do it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm sure you're going to do $50,000 in between now and Christmas. Like, what's actually going to, like, what is going to actually make it real this time? Like, if you have any self-talk, it's because there is been times that you said that you were going to do this, or said you were going to do something else, and you didn't follow through, didn't show up, didn't whatever. So how do you switch this around? And this is something, Holly and I got from when we did Landmark. Anybody know about Landmark Education? Super powerful, transformational work. And one of the things that they talk about is integrity. And we went through a program where basically a whole weekend we got,
it's a whole year, but we just focus in on this weekend.
Yeah, it's like the whole year that every program was all around integrity. It was just constant conversation around being your word, doing what you say you're going to do, and it's like, and then re-communicating when you aren't going to be, that, and it's like, I just remember them having this. Here, I'll draw it real quick. It's a wheel, right? And it's like,
and if you think of your life, right, your life is like a wheel. Like, it goes in cycles. It keeps rolling. We keep rolling in life, right? So there's your life as one giant wheel, and every time you give your word to something, you get a spoke in that wheel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go.
Okay.
It's good.
So I know
It's hard to
so
talk
we do
and
this
draw.
sometimes, and so this is just, if this is your first experience, that we are so cute that we finish each other's sentences quite a bit. So we just hop in on each other, and it's completely just how we roll. So every time you put your word, I'm gonna make this goal, I'm gonna do this challenge, I'm gonna post every single day, I'm gonna make $50,000, I'm going to get 20 clients this month. All of these things and these promises that you make to yourself, what happens is you get a spoke in your wheel. Your integrity and what you say, your word is your power. Did it go? Okay. So now what happens when those things don't happen? You lose a spoke. Oh, that didn't happen, lose a spoke. Didn't post today, lose a spoke. Didn't make that goal again, lose a spoke.
Register for an event. Didn't show up.
Man, that didn't work. So what starts to happen, and again, there is no right or wrong or morality in this whatsoever, but you ever try to ride a bike or drive a car on a wheel that was wobbly or didn't have enough spokes?
Mhm.
Things start getting really wobbly. It doesn't work. Right. And such as life is, as you put your word to things and you lose those spokes because you don't follow through, then what happens is things start to get wobbly and things start to not work out so well. Right, so what we want to do is to reinforce and create, well, first honor the spokes that have been taken away, right? So I like mirror work. I think the work comes within yourself and making like acknowledging and taking responsibility of where you haven't been your word to yourself
Mhm.
and start creating new promises for yourself. Every time that you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Because the more times that you continually say, I'm going to do this, I am going to register for this, I'm going to do this homework, I'm going to show up live, I'm going to show up for my business, I'm going to get my messaging right, and I'm going to do a live live maybe once a week or every day, whatever it is that you promise yourself, the more that you actually do it, the more your brain says, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Mhm.
Yep, you sure are. Yep, let's go. You got this. Right? So go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, it's like your brain becomes your cheerleader instead of your nagger, right? Like it's like the person that's like, no, you're not, like, like, or doubter or judger or whatever, right? It's like, how do you shift it from your critic to your cheerleader? Well, the best way to do it is to constantly be your word and constantly follow through with the things that you say you're going to do. When you follow through on the things that you say you're going to do, your mind will just start going, oh, okay, they're serious. And then it creates,
look at you, girl.
yeah, if we want to break this down to a chemical thing, it's like they get, so sometimes we make these goals. We set this intention for 50K by Christmas or 10K in a month or whatever the thing is, right? And it's like, if you said that you were going to do this and you said you were going to do this over and over again and you didn't follow through, you didn't show up, then it creates anxiety and it creates stress. But when you are your word and you just keep showing up and you just cause your life to happen and you're just constantly showing up for the things that are important to you, then it creates dopamine. You actually create dopamine when you set these challenges for yourself, because you know that maybe it's going to be challenging, maybe it's going to be something, but it's going to actually drive you.
Yeah, and I would even say to like as through here and up until the Christmas, even setting up little things for you. So something that I'm personally working in my life is I'm committing to not drink coffee first thing in the morning. So I have an hour window that in that window, I start my day with hot water, lemon, and ginger. Now that seems so small and stupid, and it has nothing to do with making money, you think, right? However, when I am my word and every morning I wake up and I go to my little electric water heater and I put my Berkey water in there and I heat it up and I watch it bubble and I cut up my ginger, I am enforcing to myself that, look at you, girl, like high five, not jumping for your coffee. Great job today. We're going to do this. Right. So even if you have these smaller promises to yourself throughout your life, it starts compounding and it does come into your business, right? Your business and your life, there's, your brain doesn't, we want to say that it goes into compartments, but it doesn't. If you have life things going on, it'll show up in your business. You have business things going on, it's going to show up in your life, right? That's how our brains work. On a conscious level, we want to compartmentalize everything, but on an unconscious and subconscious and energetic level, it does not work that way.
Yeah. So did everybody create your intentions and what 50K in between now and Christmas would allow you to do? Go ahead, drop it in the comments, get your points. Again, so how you get your points, inviting people, right? So if you have coaches and people that are called to really make a deep impact in the world, that you feel like the 50K by Christmas event is going to make a difference for, that is one way that you're going to get points. And we'll break down the exact how many points you're going to get and all that stuff. Another thing is doing your homework. So your homework is to go introduce yourself in the Coaches for Transformation group. If you haven't already joined, I dropped the link in the chat. I'll repost it. So if you're not in the group, go join the group and we'll make sure to get you approved like ASAP.
Yeah, we'll be getting everybody in by this evening. So right away as you join, you should be getting in there. And when you do your homework, there'll be a post there too explaining this, but you want to I would even encourage you to go live, right? And if you
Ooh,
felt
extra points if you go
extra
live.
points if you go live, man. Because here's the thing, if you're like, oh, I don't want to go live, I don't want to show up, right? We need to start breaking those patterns. It's a decision of, that's why we want to get really clear. What is this intention? What is this going to do for your life? What is it going to mean for your family? What are you out for in the world? And when that is stronger than, you going live, and I think it's actually, I'll just share, because I like to be vulnerable, because I think with vulnerable leadership opens up the space for other people to be vulnerable and to heal. There's been times, and to this day, it is something that I am continually getting better and better at. But when I go live, my hands get all sweaty, right? When I put a camera and I'm gonna go do a short, I feel like I make it mean something, and like, oh, is my hair okay? Like, am I gonna sound stupid? Or, all of those things happen to me too. And I've been doing this for like 9 years. However, my why is bigger than what I look like, than what I say. If I mess up, if Charlie comes running in here screaming and yelling, if my dog goes crazy barking, like all of those things, I am a real person doing real things out in the world, and I'm up for something even more, right? So I know that by doing the things that make me uncomfortable, discomfort delivers dreams. Right. And we are all here for something bigger. So that means we're going to have to get uncomfortable and show up. This is a community of people. We are here to support you to be able to reach your goals and what it is that you're out for in the world, what you feel like you are called to do. Right. So I want you to go into the Coaches for Transformation. Extra points if you go live. If you want to put a picture, I get it. I'm not ever going to force anyone to do anything. I'm just going to share like how powerful it is to have the fear and to do it anyway, and what that does for you. But to go live, share who you are. What are you out for in the world? What really matters to you with people? What is your mission in this life and in your coaching business? And then also, what is the intention that you are setting for this next from now? We're going to do a main live event on October 24th, but now till Christmas, what is that intention? What does 50K by Christmas really mean to you? What are you going to do with that? Right. And we're going to go through, we're going to read everybody's posts and what you put up there and make sure that you get a point for each of them. And again, if you know anyone who's like, this sounds really cool, I think this is going to help you out, you got to come check these guys out. You will get points for that as well. All right. So your mission, you got anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you haven't registered, like if you just found this on Facebook or whatever, there's a link down in the comments. If you're on our list and you haven't, you snuck in here and you haven't registered for the event, because I just broadcast this out to the full list and you haven't registered, I will drop the link to register for the full event in Zoom. And if you're somebody that is like, I want to learn what you guys are teaching at this 50K by Christmas, but what I really want is somebody to guide me, support me, to really like make sure that I set this up in a way that's aligned to me. Because this is the thing, we're going to teach you some great stuff. We're not going to be able to do a full energetic alignment on everyone, make sure that this business is aligned to you, give you handhold you. Not that I want to like attract people that are wanting handholding, but there is some handholding that we do in our full program, and just the accountability and the support, and really just the affirming that you can do this. Right, like on a regular basis, like you can do this,
and have a community of other people who are doing this as well.
Yeah, if that's you, then go ahead and I don't know, just DM Chad, DM me, and we'll have a conversation, see if it's a good fit, and we'll book a call and just see if it's aligned for us to work. We've been doing we've been tapping into energy fields. It's really interesting. So for the last maybe 10 people that I've talked to, we've been tapping into energy fields to make sure that energetically we can actually support you, because there's some people that we cannot support. And
it's energy and strategy, right? That I think that's really the biggest thing that separates us from everybody else, is we understand energy, we understand soul work, we understand the strategy. Chad and I have been in marketing and sales for over, I don't want to age us, but 2004 is when I first started.
It's okay.
Like
I earned
over
this beard.
15. Yes, you have. I saw someone like, if you can grow your beard out as long as my hair, that would be hilarious. So we've been doing this work for a very long time. I actually started at like in a spiritual coach doing deliverance and healing sessions. I worked and supported women in a mission type scenario in their home of abusive women. So I have been in we've both been in the transformation space and the marketing and the sales space. Just our stories and how we've come together is really quite fascinating. And we've been able to do this for literally hundreds of coaches. So if you are someone who needs that support, you're like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Let's have a conversation. And it has to be aligned on both sides, right? We're going to talk a lot about alignment. This whole thing is about doing this in alignment to who you are at a soul level. What are your gifts? How do you shine the best? How do we create your marketing strategy and your model and your offer and everything in alignment to those gifts and who you are? And that matters. So that's why we do conversations. Right, you'll never just see like here's a sales page, go join our program without us talking to you, because we want to make sure that it's a good fit for you and it's a good fit for us and it's a good fit for the community as a whole. Right, we hold a very we have an incredible community of the most amazing people, so it's important.
Cool.
And I urge you, for you and your business, like that stuff matters.
Yeah.
Like who you work with determines the fulfillment of your business. So on that note, I appreciate you guys. I look forward to hearing from all of you, seeing all of your posts. And we will see you in the group Coaches for Transformation. And then we will be here again for more next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you are registered, you'll have it on your calendar. There's a little link, click on the link. It'll come up on your calendar. And this is exciting. Let's go. Who's excited? Guys, we will see you in the group and see you next week live. Bye for now.